Well, it's good to see you back here at the end of day 3 of GitHub Universe. It's been a jam-packed 3 days, and today I'll highlight some of my favorite talks and performances from the week. Then we'll have some fun with some of the best and funniest moments of the last 3 days together. It's time to celebrate the end of GitHub Universe 2020 on today's GitHub Universe Highlight Show. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the GitHub Universe Highlight Show. I'll be your host, Kyle Daigle, and hopefully you already knew that. It's the end of day 3, and I get the distinct pleasure of sending you off until we see you at GitHub Satellite early next year. All right, let's dive into today, and then we can get to the after party. All right, in today's feature session, principal engineer from Google and, of course, from Kubernetes fame, Kelsey Hightower joined us to share a bit about his journey to becoming the person you know him now in the open source community.
Started for me around the age of 15. And there's a long trajectory between those humble beginnings to the person you speak in front of you today or commit to your open source or your favorite open source project.
Now, Kelsey's talk was about Kubernetes, GitOps, and the humans that glue it all together. And he started by sharing a great story about marathon runners and how we can learn from how they can work together in order for us to succeed.
If you want to understand GitOps, you got to understand the why. Why are you using it? What's important about it? What's the Peloton formation you're trying to build around you? And is it designed to help you go faster? Or are you just doing stuff because people said it on Twitter?
I love that quote. And in some ways, this technology isn't as new, which Kelsey explained. He talks about how behind every process improvement change that we make, or software products that we write, it's really the humans that make it all work.
It's the humans that should be front and center. Today, we're going to be talking about Kubernetes and GitOps. And the thing that kind of depresses me a little is that we tend to put all of these tools before the humans that use them. When you think about Git, it's one of the world's best collaboration tools for writing software. And GitHub is where we all meet and collaborate. But it's the people that make all of this work.
During his talk, Kelsey shared one of the key tips that you can follow to make GitOps work more easily between your Kubernetes setup and by using GitHub Actions. It's pretty simple. Keep your configuration repo separate and lean on GitHub Actions. Here, take a look.
Keep your config repo separate. So what does that look like in the GitHub world? Well, you probably know what this looks like. If I click over here to my GitHub tab, I just have another repository where I'm storing all of my configs. And here I can have my same Git flow. I can do pull requests, I can review them, and all of my configs are just sitting here underneath this directory called Kubernetes. I can have other deployment targets. Maybe you're using a serverless platform like Cloud Run. And in that case, you may have another directory of declarative configs that you put there. But the goal is these are just all data artifacts that can be consumed by some other system that can actually take your declarative thing and make it work.
I'm going to be honest, this was really a talk that you need to watch end to end. Kelsey did an amazing job of telling a story here, and you're really only getting a tiny taste in the clips that we picked for you. I highly recommend that you head on over to githubuniverse.com tomorrow and watch the entire thing. The hosts and I have been reading all of your tweets, discussion posts, and it's been so much fun interacting with you during GitHub Universe this year. I'm really going to miss our time together. Let's dive in. Lisa has a message for all of those YAML haters out there. Deal with it. Kelsey's apparent love for YAML came through loud and clear. Me, I'm still on the fence, but I'll deal with it, okay? Now, check out this beautiful illustration by Carlo. You can actually sponsor him on GitHub Sponsors right now. I'll tweet out his handle after this to make it a little bit easier. It covers all the highlights and announcements in a beautiful visual format from the Day 1 keynote. Really excellent work, Carlo. And finally, we have this amazing image from the US stream today. It was too good not to share. Our US enterprise hosts, Martin and Dana, needed to kick it into business overdrive. And not only did both people wear suits, but Martin was sporting some very classy yellow hair to match Dana. Never change, you two. Thanks again to everyone for sending in your tweets and engaging with us in GitHub discussions. It was so much fun chatting with you. Now, let's move on to the rest of this jam-packed day 3 by talking about our talks. Let's kick off our review of today's sessions by looking at Project Scala. OpenJDK is an enormous open source project that recently made its migration over to GitHub. Along the way, the team learned some of the best ways to ensure that maintainers focus their code review only on the areas that they know best.
To enable this, we implemented automatic labeling of pull requests with the help of a GitHub application. This means that, for example, let's say you make a pull request and you change one of the make files used for building OpenJDK. Our program will then automatically look at the files in the pull request that you changed, realize you only changed the make files, and then automatically apply the build label.
If you're considering migrating your large project to GitHub, whether that's an open source project or otherwise, there were some great hard-earned tips in that talk. Be sure to check out the replay. Changing gears a bit, as part of the open source community, we tend to focus on the coding, the building of the software on each of the projects. During a panel on maintaining boundaries, balance, and funding in open source, Wes McKinney shared how important non-code contributions can be.
One of the things that I spend the most time doing as a contributor and a maintainer is gardening the issue tracker. So organizing the reports that come in, getting more information from the issue reporters, closing out duplicates, connecting issues together, setting their metadata. Because ultimately, a project that is well organized and where we have as much information as possible about the bug reports or the feature requests that come in is going to make it that much easier for people to jump in and make contributions.
You can find areas to jump into open source right now and chip in with issue assistance by checking out GitHub Explore, or during the holiday season, projects like 24 pull requests, where you can find additional opportunities to chip in. It's been a huge year here at GitHub, and even with all of this going on, Nicole Forsgren gave a talk on the state of the Octoverse, and it's really worth checking out. Here's a quick recap of the talk from Nicole herself.
Here's our TLDR. We talked about juggling work and play, how automation makes things better, working better together, and securing our systems.
There you go. You're all set. If you want to read the full reports, go check them out at octoverse.github.com and check out the whole talk tomorrow, githubuniverse.com. Yesterday, we got a sneak peek from Neha about today's talk on how to customize GitHub discussions for your developer community. Here she is talking about how some of her favorite organizations are using GitHub discussions.
So here's an example here where Snowpack has used a pin discussion as their change log. And so it's kind of pinned at the top. You can see that Fred's got some spot on GIFs here. And what I love is that each comment is a new version and it details, and it allows people to easily reply with thoughts or words of thank or encouragement.
Check out the rest of Neha's favorite GitHub discussion boards in the recording of her talk, githubuniverse.com. And finally, has your mono repo evolved past the point that you can handle it? Derek from the GitHub team has a few ideas for you if this sounds familiar.
It's as your repository evolves that it grows and continues growing at a faster and faster rate as your team grows.
Go catch them all, mono repo tips that is, by watching all of Derek's talk. And that's a wrap on the over 80 sessions from GitHub Universe 2020. And a huge shout out to the University channel and the Play channel, who had amazing content as well that maybe you've missed out on, but are definitely worth a look. A huge thank you to all the speakers, performers, and visual artists from those channels. You really made GitHub Universe a little bit more special. If I intrigued you with any of the highlights, you can go and rewatch all the sessions tomorrow. GitHubUniverse.com, go and take a look. All right, we are in the final countdown of GitHub Universe this year, and now I'm in control, so I want to have a little bit of fun. We've spent so much time with each other. I really think we've gotten to know each other, and I mean, the sign of a good friendship is being able to poke fun at each other, right? Well, the team was excited to share announcements in the keynotes. Well, it didn't always come out in a single take. I decided to beg a few people on the production team and got these bloopers of the day one keynote for you. Check this out.
With GitHub sponsors, you can fund the open source projects. Sorry, it's too funny. It splashed on me.
Oh no, I got the wrong word. Manually merging a pull request is nice and all, but how about we let the robots do the work here? What? Okay.
Yes. The key to a crispy pizza is the GitHub Definitely a Blowtorch, available today for $9.99 with your GitHub Pro subscription.
This New York page is looking great.
Professional open source developers. Oh, I guess I should take it for real. Yeah.
Ring, ring, ring. And your line is.
I need to answer it, yeah. Okay, I'm ready. Let's do it. Manually merging a pull request is nice and all, but how about we let the robots do the work here?
And we even have CodeQL automatically selling security vulnerabilities.
Nat, are you okay? Nat.
That's great.
I've already pre-ordered my GitHub brand blowtorch. I'm excited to make some creme brulee after we get done with this. Anyway, thank you for being such good sports, Nat, Neha, Ryan, Diana, and Brian, and letting us have a laugh, hopefully, with you. Well, it's been a very busy 3 days with all of the talks, hundreds of questions being answered in our GitHub discussions board, and you were shepherded through the entire experience by a few stalwart guides. These folks have been with you as the hosts of the developer and enterprise channels, and I thought it'd be only fair if we brought them here to celebrate the final moments of GitHub Universe 2020. Let's bring back Kath and Brian from the developer channel and the incomparable Dana and Martin from the enterprise track. Hello, everybody.
Hello. Hey.
I know it's a Brady Bunch moment over here. Thanks so much, everyone, for sticking around a little bit longer and having some fun with me while we put the finishing touches on GitHub Universe 2020. So, listen, I sat down, I calculated it out, and you have all been on camera for over 15 hours in total, and you've listened to so many talks and questions. Kath, I want to start with you first. What was your favorite moment from this GitHub Universe?
Yeah, my favorite moment, I loved today, but I loved every single day. My favorite moment, there's not just one, it's interacting with the community on Twitter, on discussions, and hearing all of these talks and everything. But, there's something that takes the cake, and I think it actually was B. Dougie's joke about letting the dogs out, because my dogs were actually barking during my talk today. And that definitely, I think that deserves that's an Oscar moment for sure.
B. Dougie, on to you. Your setup looks amazing, and I think a lot of people took notice. While going through all the tweets directed at you between the pizza, Beyonce, Jordan, and your setup photos, everyone was really loving it. Aside from the excellent talk you did you have any favorite moments from this year's GitHub Universe?
Yeah, honestly, this was quite unique because normally I go to Universe and it's all based in San Francisco and I get to go talk. But here was all online, and I really appreciated the keynotes, not only because I was in the first one, but also like Erica's keynote and as well as Kelsey's keynote. It was just really packed with a lot of information, and I think GitHub sort of just knocked it out of the park with the type of content that I don't know if everybody was expecting, all the hard-hitting facts and numbers and relationships to be built. But yeah, I mean, I just come away with awesome job selecting keynotes and getting these speakers.
Awesome. And then, of course, Martin and Dana, this isn't your first time being hosts for a virtual conference. Dana, I'm curious, what was different for you about this time hosting?
I don't know. Martin's amazing hair. He just looks so fabulous. I heard that Illuminati is the Pantone color of the year. So me and Martin are trendsetters, in case you didn't know. But no, it was great. I mean, we got some fierce women talking. I love Elisa and Rocio talking from Intuit about how they championed inner sourcing. It's such an amazing company. They started as a grassroots effort. It was just so inspiring. Anybody can do this. And they were proof to that right there.
And Martin, you're no stranger to these events either, giving talks. I see all the Raspberry Pis behind you, I think. Tell me, from your perspective, going through all of the content over the 3 days, what does GitHub Universe mean for all the developers sitting at home?
Gosh, it's late. It's been what is it, 9:29 for me or something like that. We've been on air for 15 hours straight. You hit me with a deep question like that. I don't know. I hope what developers, like the open source maintainers you just showed, like Gina Heusger and Wes McKinney, and but also developers in companies large and small. I hope what you can take away from this week is the team here at GitHub, the people too, and they've really got people's backs. They really try to look after the developers. And of us all, I think I am the newest GitHubber here. And what I found at GitHub is that GitHub's a company that's really run by developers, for makers, for creators, for the love of building cool things. And we just want to make tools that get out of your way, help you solve problems. And we want to work with the whole community to give you the building blocks to assemble your best ways of working, I guess. Anyway, hopefully some of that came across. If not, hopefully you've learned something new and cool, and you've got a bunch of ideas about how you can make some cooler stuff next year, or some new hairstyle tips.
Awesome. I couldn't agree more, Martin. And I also want to say to all four of you, thank you so much to all of you. You let me crash your channels. I gave you a little bit of sass. I had so much fun over the past few days recounting your work and your hijinks, the presents that were given, the wigs, the glow sticks, and of course, the pizza. Hosting is not an easy task at all. And you all just absolutely knocked it out of the park. So, all right. I think it's time. How about we toast the end of this GitHub Universe? Does everyone have a glass? Raise your water, juice, kombucha, energy drink. I have champagne, whatever you want in whatever glass you want. You can play along at home. Grab a glass of something, take a drink with us, tweet us your toast. Let's toast to this GitHub Universe, to our amazing community of developers from all around the world. Without you, we wouldn't be here. Thank you so much for joining us over the past 3 days, over 80 talks. And listen, I only get to do this once, so we're going to go out with a bang. 3, 2, 1, cheers!
Cheers, everybody.
Woo. Thanks, Kath, Brian, Dana, Martin. Please enjoy your well-deserved time off. I'll see you later. Have a great weekend, guys. And to you, our community, for all of the work that you put in maintaining open source projects, all those last-minute bug fixes, for answering pages for your apps on Saturday evenings. Here's to all your hard work. We build GitHub for all of you, and I can't wait to see what you do with what we built this year. I'd like to take a quick moment to thank the thousands of Hubbers from around the world who ship these features for our community. Thank you so much, Hubbers, for all of your hard work and dedication. And finally, a big thank you to the production team and the team that helped me put together this show every day. Hey, y'all, we made it. I wish you all the best of the rest of the year. And here's to a really great 2021. I'll see you next time.